We all know what stress is. It is something when we are under lots of pressure, when we are worrying about something, or we are having responsibilities or expectations that are too overwhelming, or when we don't have enough work or activities in life. And above all, technology driven, fast paced lifestyle is contributing a lot in our stress that it sometimes becomes difficult to cope up with our daily life. How does it feel to have stress? It's not a pleasant feeling, and what is important to know is that how could we deal with this evolving stress and live a happy and a peaceful life? We are the humans and we are the top of creation, as we have got intelligence to choose what is good or bad for us, which distinguishes us from other creatures and makes us privileged to make our lives the way we want it to be. Every day we work hard and do what we can to help care for our families. Yet, there are times when we lack this intelligence or we feel weak in coping with the unfavorable circumstances, and we start to develop anxiety, stress, and we get depressed as time goes on. We struggle and experience pain. We feel lonely, afraid, and anxious in uncertainty, whether it's to do with our jobs, health, or relationships. Recently, we all have witnessed the strong impact of the coronavirus pandemic. We know people around us who have lost their loved ones, jobs, and businesses, and at times they were all going through immense stress and anxiety. As we claim the technological advancement that the men have reached to the moon and other planets, but we have failed miserably to stop the virus and its impact to many human lives. With these life lessons, we understand that sometimes situations are not in our hand and in our control. But certainly, if we practice spirituality, it creates an awareness within us and gives us an inner strength and power to deal with any unpleasant circumstances in life. When we look at the way the most successful people in the world operate, often the principles they use resemble what the spirituality suggests. Spirituality emphasizes on living a simple life, giving our attention only to important things. Let's review a simple two-step process used for success in the world. First, focus on present. As human beings, we tend to think deeply about the past and the future, but being stuck thinking about the past or overly concerned about the future tends to paralyze any progress we make today. We can't do anything about yesterday, and we are not guaranteed tomorrow. Focus on today because that's all we have got. The second step to overcome stress is to eliminate the clutter in our lives. We all have thoughts that come and go that aren't necessarily related to the task at hand. This mental clutter can cause an internal train wreck in our minds and often derails our best intentions. Get rid of the clutter, block it out, no matter what you have to do. Ask yourself, are these thoughts relevant to what I have to do right now? If the answer is no, chase them out of your head with a positive attitude. Let's take an example of a butterfly. For a butterfly to emerge from a tiny opening in its cocoon, it takes an immense amount of struggle. The restricting cocoon and the butterfly's struggle are nature's way of increasing its strength in order to force the fluid from its body into its wings so that the butterfly will be ready for flight once free of the cocoon. Likewise, sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. If God were to allow us to go through our lives without any obstacles, we would not be able to develop the strength required to overcome the many hurdles we have to face in our challenging journey through life. Yes, understandably, to follow a path of spirituality, It could be a difficult take, and as the most intelligent of all creatures, we might question ourselves that what's the need and how it will help in dealing with stress. So when it comes to spirituality, we seem to want to understand everything about it before we commit fully to the spiritual path. Yet, in material or worldly matters, our lack of understanding doesn't stop us from trying new experiences or activities. For instance, how many of us know exactly how the engine of a car works? Yet, our ignorance doesn't deter us from driving a car. Similarly, how many of us know anything about flight, and yet has this stopped us from boarding a plane? We don't even know who the pilot is or how capable he is, yet we trust him with our life. What about cell phones, computers, smart watches, and the myriad electronics that we use daily? Do we understand how they work? Why can't we just adopt the spiritual practice as we do electronic gadgets without understanding the intricacies of how they all work? The answer may be very simple. With electronic gadgets, we experience immediate, tangible benefits and we come to depend on them. So, who cares how they work? They just do. A child doesn't wake up one morning knowing everything, but the child gradually learns to speak, read, and write. If the child insisted on knowing the reason for the sequence of the letters of the alphabet before she learned to read and write, she would never be able to do so because there is no acceptable answer to the sequence of the letters in the alphabet. As the child grows and her awareness increases, the question of the order of the letters becomes irrelevant. So, to spiritual awareness isn't something that happens overnight or with a flick of a switch, like switching on an electronic gadget. It grows extremely slowly and somewhat unconsciously, and as it grows, our questions simply dissolve. With an increased awareness of spirituality, we also gradually change our perspectives on various aspects of life. For many, spirituality takes the form of religious observance, prayer, meditation, or a belief in a higher power. For others, it can be found in nature, music, art, or something else. Spirituality is different for everyone. Having a spiritual side can give a person a boost by allowing reliance on God or a higher power and surrendering worries and troubles rather than holding on so tightly to stress. With a spiritual practice, we will find that no matter how tough it gets, we are not alone. The Almighty is always with us. Spirituality has many benefits for stress relief and overall mental health. Combining stress management and spiritual principles can be a healthy outlet for self-growth and learning to handle anything that comes our way. Here are some ways to incorporate a spiritual stress management practice into our life: yoga, meditation, prayer, and even keeping a journal. Having a journal that is focused on getting in touch with your spiritual side and finding answers for everyday problems. So, let's come together and aim to calm our mind while increasing awareness on our internal experience, thoughts, and feelings. Let's learn how to effectively manage stress by follow a path of spirituality and self-awareness to a healthy and a more productive life. I hope you have enjoyed this video. We will be talking about the 5 passions of life in our next video. We need your love and support to bring more interesting content on spirituality. So please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you need any answer to your queries related to spirituality, then please do write us at spiritually@peace@gmail.com. Thank you.